So, good morning. Today,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be ringing the singing bowl that's green and it represents the heart chakra. The heart chakra is located in the center of your chest. It represents love, self love, and it governs our relationships. So, if you're ever feeling imbalanced, or if you're depressed, or if you're having difficulty in your relationships, or you feeling like you have a lack of discipline, as you listen to this, all of that will be removed, right? That's the purpose of, hitting the singing bowl is to like cleanse that energy. Okay. So this is for our
Mhm.
heart chakra. It's
All right.
green.
All
Oh,
right.
and it's dope because me and Mo are wearing green today. All right,
Gang.
ready?
Let's fill up.
All right, guys, let's get it
Oh, I
started.
feel it. I feel
Oh,
it.
that was
All
nice.
right.
I felt
Yeah,
it. I
did your
feel
heart
it.
chakra open
That
up?
was
Yeah.
nice.
You're
I
feeling
felt
I
imbalanced
don't
my
or
got.
third
I
balanced
have no
now?
heart.
my third eye
You
opened
have no
up.
heart?
My
That boy don't have a
chakra is
heart.
flowing.
I
Let's
have no
go.
heart. My heart. I am hollow.
I just feel like
All
my
right. Well, get
breathing
some
got better.
self-discipline. It said self-discipline too. If you lack
I'll do that. I'll
self-discipline,
do that. You
yeah.
Right.
already know.
All right, let's go, guys. We
All
live.
right. Wait, do we have an order yet? And who's running this shit? Like, yeah.
It sounded like you were about to
All
take the
right,
lead,
so
fuck
all
boy.
I no, I can't host it because I
Yeah,
already
because
know
you
what
might
it
have
is.
to dip
Go
out.
ahead,
Ladies
Bug.
and
You got it,
gentlemen,
Bug.
as you can
I'll
clearly
go.
see, this is sophisticatedly ratchet. We are all, I guess, hosting today.
Yes, it's a joint effort.
And today, before we even get started, let's go ahead and introduce the team, the kings and queens. And let's start off with the fuckboy who just deaded responsibility from the jump. Shake, introduce us, King.
Ooh, yeah, baby. What it do, baby? I'm here. Everybody's favorite voice. You know what I'm saying? What's up?
Who told you this shit, bro?
Yo, shut your damn mouth, bro. Well, I'm not everybody's favorite voice. Everybody's favorite character. There it goes.
I feel like there's some cosign to that. There's some validity to that.
All right, so you can move on to the next one. We done.
All right, so we're going to move it on to our IT, Beer Gang Rep Native, Flash the
Facts.
Philosopher,
B.
Big King,
How you say Big Beard Gang? Yeah, BBG. Okay.
BBG.
I'm in the
I'll
streets.
hashtag that.
Was good, tribe. Was good, y'all. Let's do this shit.
And now we're going to move it on to America's and, of course, Bronx favorite number 3, Lil Mo.
Hello. Hey,
What's going
tribe.
on
What's
with you,
up?
Queen?
It's your girl Mo. You know, I'm always representing the Bronx. How everyone doing out there?
Nice.
Oh,
And don't
Dusty.
zone us shit. You already
Don't
know what
zone
it
my
is.
shit.
Not
Co-op
zone
City,
5.
Section
No.
5.
Talk your shit.
And we're going to move it on to the Spew God, the
Yo,
man, the myth, the legend,
yo,
Scarlet Pumpernickel in these streets still.
Ooh. Don't forget
Spew
the
God, what's
Scarlet
good, fam?
Pumpernickel.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mash, aka Sir Drip, aka Spew God Drip Drip. Please say the motherfucking drip drip. I'm
Drip,
here with
drip.
that gang. I'm here with my gang. I love y'all. What's good, tribe? Ready for a great episode?
Let's do this.
Facts. And we, of course, we say the best for last. It is
Every
getting
time.
cold this month, so you already know what time it is.
It
Chilly in
started
this
snowing
bitch
last night.
already.
Chilly in this bitch.
Started snowing in here. And we have the best for last, the Ice Queen, TJ. How are you, my dear?
What up, tribe? It's
You give her an
TJ.
ad-lib,
TJ
Shay.
in the building. It is
Mm.
getting cold. If y'all in New York last night, it snowed. I was like, what is this
Freezing.
white flurry shit? But
Yeah,
we are
snow's
in
a
Yeah, I'm
December
definitely not a
coming
fan
this
of that
week.
shit.
So
Crazy.
Yo,
What's
when does
up?
winter officially start?
It's the
I
20th.
believe
When it get
December
cold, my guy.
21st. December
Yeah,
21st?
something
No,
like
December
that.
21st. I believe it starts around the same time Capricorn season start. Gang, gang.
Got you.
Oh, you a Capricorn?
Winter's officially mad late when you think about it. It should be much earlier than that. But anyway.
Nah,
And of
nah, it's
course,
good.
I am your moderator, the last guy, the introvert, Sly Boogie, the Outrider Trickster main. Anyway, streaming that
All
on
day.
YouTube and Twitch,
day.
so feel free to check me out over there. And yeah, we're gonna have a dope episode, team. We are doing current events for December, and we got a lot of shit to talk about. So how do we want to kind of do it though?
First word of the day.
Yes,
Word
we
of
are
the
gonna
day.
do word of the day. And as a matter of fact, we are. So Shake, let's go ahead and intro
And
that.
then I could just go. I just go into my part because my part is really quick. Okay.
To be honest, there is there is one thing I want to say, like before we even get started, like R.I.P. Young Dolph. I know we was it's kind of late with all that, but I know he's just going and not forgotten. So I did want to kind of say that, and we could all talk on that. But word of the day first.
Got you. Word of the day. R.I.P. So word of the day. The word of today is pretentious, and pretentious meaning attempting to oppress by affecting greater importance, talent, culture, etc. than actually is possessed. The principal of the school was very. No, I'm not even gonna go there. It has to be somebody who. My coworker. My coworker is very pretentious. He thinks he's my goddamn boss.
So we can think of pretentious as was it like
if I was trying to take a chick out on a date and I didn't have any money, my intentions would be pretentious.
Attempting to impress.
Yes.
Attempting to impress with greater importance. I feel like,
or like trying to be something I'm not, like trying to be some aristocrat from England.
Exactly.
That got money when I'm just
people that pretend to be something that they're not. That's what it is.
Got it.
And I mean, you can use it as pretentious.
I don't think when they pretend to be something they're not. I think they're pretentious because they, like, for instance, it says like a talent, so they think they can sing, but they're
and then they walk around acting like they're good singers.
Right.
That's the pretentiousness. That's the pretentious behavior.
Because they don't really have the talent of singing, so they're pretentious because they feel that they don't actually possess that talent.
That's the pretentious behavior.
Trying to find a way to put this in a sentence. I want to win, but damn it, this is the
word. I've heard pretentious before, but this definition is just throwing me off. It's the definition that's throwing me off.
Oh, you
because I'd be like, oh, he's so pretentious, but
it seems like it's a good thing, that word, right?
It means you're fake.
Just off.
It just means you're fake. It just means that you are pretending
he's
to
just
be something you're
pretentious,
not.
like doing the most.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if you can use it as like pretentiously, but I think it's more like I think it's.
I feel like pretentious can be used in a good way too.
Some people will call Soulja Boy pretentious. So he's the first person to say he was a rapper on YouTube, or the first rapper on the
first guy with a video game console as well. Technically,
that would be pretentious.
He really was though.
Is Kanye West pretentious?
That's Yeah, okay. I think some people would have called Lil Wayne pretentious in the beginning, but then he actually lived up to what he was talking about.
I think like all the greats you could think
he used to say he was.
Even Jay-Z been talking shit before he was like really that dude. He's always been that guy talking that junk.
Because if anybody believes in you, you have to believe
but it's really talking it into existence, whatever you want.
Right.
Exactly. And they all kind of accomplished things that they said that they wanted. So it's
even like when I run around. When I run around and tell everybody I'm going to be a millionaire, that's kind of pretentious.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
But if you put that energy out there, not really.
Just make that shit happen. All I got to say is make that shit happen.
Like, even in the basketball team, like you could like try to motivate everyone by trying to be a bit more pretentious, even though that's not really who you are, but you're doing it to get everybody else up. So it could be used in a good way.
So I think pretentious could be a good thing and a bad thing.
Right.
It could be both. Speaking things into existence. All right. So the first thing I just wanted to chat about today, I'm gonna make this quick, was the new variant for the coronavirus, for COVID. And the new variant is called Omicron. All right. I believe that's how you pronounce it, right? Omicron.
Yeah, and they fought the Decepticons for the Allspark.
So Omicron is a really dangerous variant of the disease, because they're saying that it attacks it. I guess it focuses on attacking your immune system as well as your respiratory system, because COVID is mostly a respiratory disease. This is attacking your immune system, so they think it's a really huge variant, and they're trying to contain it. So far it was in South Africa, the Netherlands, and also there was one case in Israel, right? In Israel, I don't know if you guys remember, but Israel was the state that was one of the first states that was almost completely vaccinated. Almost completely. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to say something, Buggy?
I have a question, and I say this with complete respect to the Omicron matrix, whatever this variant is. What
Omicron. Omicron.
I know we had the Lua variant and we had variants before that. So like I'm just confused as to why this variant is taking more. Like, why is this more concerning than all the variants we had in the past?
It's new.
It's just a new factor. We just got a new name.
No, it's not that. It's not that they dropping a new. They didn't dropping new albums.
Dropping new albums, baby.
That is the worst name for a virus I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know who comes up with these names, but it's ridiculous. But what else would you come up with? I don't know. You want them to follow? You want them to follow like hurricanes, go A, B, C, D? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Omicron sound like an NFT. I thought that was like a company logo or some shit. Like I ain't think of that.
I thought that shit was a cryptocurrency. That shit sound like
it does sound like a crypto. It definitely does.
Omicron is something that Superman is.
I thought it was something in the metaverse. Honestly,
we went to the Corona, to Lua.
And you know, I heard people calling it the South African strain, and people were really upset about that because they were like, you know, when we called it the China virus, it was derogatory, but now people are representing it as the South African variant. Like that should be a no-go just as much as the China virus, was a no-go.
Definitely should be.
So,
you know, they always going to try to have an excuse to attack Africa first chance.
So I was really. I was shocked that Sheikh said that this is what it was actually called because the first time I heard it was the South African variant, not the Omni.
That's mad disrespectful.
Which is.
I think maybe that's why they had to come up with a name for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm hearing you right, Sheikh, basically COVID stepped it up to like HIV COVID. So you said
that's what I was saying. It's kind of like comparable. Like I don't know if it's comparable to HIV, but like this shit is like getting out of control. It's getting out of control now because that's what HIV does. It attacks your immune system. So when somebody says it attacks your immune system, that's kind of scary. You know what I mean? So
that's what came to mind for me when you said that.
Hopefully they do a good job. Hopefully they do a good job containing this. And you know, we don't continue to have problems with it. This has also kind of attacked our financial markets as well. We took a huge dip in the financial market, including cryptocurrency. And you know, it has to do with, you know, crowd sentiment. And sentiment means, you know, how you see things going. And if people think that this right here will affect the market, people are going to start pulling their money out of the market, and that severely affects our markets as well. And also, I you know what? That's pretty much it. I don't want to go into the whole, you know, inflation and shit like that. You know what? One more thing before I leave. Inflation. The shit is getting out of control.
Go ahead and talk about it. You know what's on your heart.
So the government is working on, you know, strengthening the dollar right now. So that's another reason why the markets are taking a hit. The government is trying to strengthen the market. They've been putting more strength into the dollar by, I guess, decreasing the amount in circulation and also increasing interest rates. So less people are, I guess, taking out loans and taking out money. All right. So that's how they decrease inflation. These are the ways they do for anybody that took economics. And that also is going to bring down the market. So that's also bringing down the market. So guys, if you have money invested, do not be scared right now. I mean, maybe you should pull some money out for now and then wait for it to drop and put more money back in. But, you know, don't be scared. It will go back up. But for right now, we're taking a hit. All right.
I feel like we should put a disclaimer. We at Sophisticated Ratchet do not.
Oh yeah, and this is not investment advice. This is not investment advice. Don't
come after us if your money falls. That's what we trying to say.
Right.
Take my money out.
Nah, that was legitimate news. He didn't make a specific recommendation. No, we good.
Not at all.
He definitely said the don't be alarmed right now. I guarantee some motherfuckers follow his advice and the money dropped. They're gonna be like, yo, I listen to this nigga. Nah,
yo, nah, but that's what's going on right now. That's why we're taking all these hits in the market. Who's next?
I mean, I did have some questions in regard to like the Omicron thing. I like, especially with the South African thing. Like, I was looking on. I mean, just obviously, I don't have all the research done, but I don't ever see any sort of numbers. Like, they obviously just identified where it started at South Africa. But
actually, as of 1 hour ago, New York Times reported that there were 13. They find at least 13 Omicron cases in travelers from Southern Africa. They didn't have to say South Africa, but Southern Africa. It came from. They're saying 13 cases so far.
Okay, all right.
The South of Africa.
But we don't know
if that's fuck.
Yeah, we don't know if that's the full number right there. You know what I mean? Like that's confirmed cases that they know about. But this is definitely something we have to keep an eye out for, and that they have to figure out how they're gonna contain.
How they be testing for the new shit?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
And how does the old shit not have an effect on the new shit? Like how is the old vaccine
and also the vaccine is no good. Yeah.
That's the thing that irks my mind. Like there's a new, like they're gonna have they assumingly hopefully have a vaccine for this Omicron variant, but then there's a new variant that pops up and it's like the old shit don't work on that. It's like
right,
end the cycle. It's
just like a learning process. Like they're not sure, so they're telling you to get or to be vaccinated, and I don't think that they really know what's going on because like they're not testing for the certain variants that are coming out there. So it's like after they're telling you, oh, all right, now you get the booster, okay, but then you find out something else comes out again. So
it's just I think that there's sort of a disconnect, or I don't want to say incompetence. That's not an appropriate word, but there's something up with the people up top where it's just not being communicated right to us. Like it just seems like it's an ever-ending cycle. Like we're gonna be dealing with this for not even the next 3 years, but maybe 5 to 10.
Yeah, like this is the new regular. This is the new regular. I want y'all to strap in. I want y'all to be really aware. This is what our future is gonna look like. All right, either you're gonna subscribe to this booster shot lifestyle shit, or you're gonna be a fucking hermit like me and be forced to like not go to events and shit because they want you to be vaccinated. So just deal with it.
They gonna find a way to get you tax wise, bro. They gonna find a way. They gonna find a way to get you, bro.
My nigga, I went to a club the other day in New York, right? Thinking that I was, I'm an OG in getting backstage. You know what I'm saying? I get backstage, so I figured, nigga, I could get inside the building. They said they want COVID shots, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I went there. You know what I mean? I showed the bouncer my the COVID card on my phone, which is not mine. Right? And then I showed him my ID. I keep trying to switch it back and forth.
Right? Nope. They take it.
More. Shit. The nigga scanned my ID and he's looking at the cat vaccine card like. Nah, nigga.
Yeah, they gonna match it up with your ID, loser. Oh my god.
Whose name was on the vaccine card? Never mind. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Go fuck up the whole game. Don't answer that.
I should at least have somebody with the same last name as me. Or some shit. Right.
I'm mad niggas used to use fake ID to sneak into the club. Now niggas got to use fake vaccine cards to sneak into restaurants.
That's a sad time we live in, bro. That's a sad day we live in.
They scanning the
vaccine card, bro. My shit expired. What?
Yo, it's crazy.
Just move to Atlanta, my nigga. You good? Just pop up out here and we take good care of you, my nigga.
Stay strapped up, nigga. Stay strapped up.
They treating me crazy out here, bro. They treating me crazy out here.
Yeah, I was supposed to go see Dave Chappelle with my man Phil. And they was like, yeah, so you got your vaccination card? I'm like, fuck damn, Dave. I guess I ain't going to see you. I'm not even going to go there if they talking that shit. They're like, nah, I'm not at all. Netflix,
wasting my time, nigga.
Right. Wow, definitely.
Keep that.
All right.
So we are moving on now. So I did say RP to Young Dolph. Definitely want to say that again. I don't have a lot of details, obviously, and I know the death has been last week.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead and give us details, King.
I was gonna jump on it with him.
For those who don't know, Young Dolph is a rapper from Memphis, Tennessee. Young Dolph is 36. He's our age, and he is one of the most gangster rappers that I was listening to for the 2020. So I want to say the last 4 years I've been listening to Dolph, and I fuck with Dolph. Dolph is my nigga.
He's been an independent artist from the jump. Like he's never been like the major record label, even though he fuck with major record label artists.
Yeah,
I fuck with him about. That's what I like about him the most. He's always been independent.
He definitely independent. He owns his own masters, all his music, and although he's no longer with us, all his kids gonna eat off of all y'all streams. So please keep bumping my nigga Young Dolph so his family could eat. My nigga Dolph was taken from us on Wednesday, November 17th.
Yeah.
He was going to a store to get some cookies for his aunt who suffered from cancer. And when he was in town in Memphis, he was also recently promoting that shop on Instagram about the week before, because it's a local business that he was trying to promote. He's also done tons of charity work. That's what he do in his hood. This nigga Dolph, this nigga's mad cool. In Duke University, there's a cafe where these two young black kids was fired for playing his shit over the speakers. And when they got fired, he basically had them at his next concert. Good looking, bro. Brought them to his next concert, brought them on stage, and both gave him $20,000. It was like, yo, this is for y'all until y'all get back on y'all feet. You know what I mean? He gave his Lambo to one of his biggest fans, like just off the strip. Like
I saw that.
Dolph is just a good nigga, bro. And these two niggas popped out on him when he went to the cookie shop and they lit him up. and he died on the scene. It broke my heart. It broke my little heart. I mean, I kind of.
He was
How do you think they're after him? What is it?
He wasn't even in his prime, to be
Well,
honest.
he
with
was
you.
he was previously, I believe, shot at before. Like back when, in Memphis. He moved
Was
out
he
of
into some
he
bad
moved out
stuff?
of
To be honest, like
he
I don't know
moved
the
out of
exact
Memphis,
details, but he always been involved in like I
Yeah.
don't want to say like street beef, but like he's a street dude is what I'm trying to say, for lack of a better term.
Mhm.
All right, so Dolph got a history of dealing with niggas who want to kill him. So
Right,
Dolph
that's what I
been dodging niggas for a minute now.
For a
He had
minute, yeah.
He got a song called
Yeah.
100 Shots where niggas actually tried to shoot him 100 times and they missed. And he went
Yeah.
into the booth the
Damn.
next night and made a track. And that shit was a hit. So my nigga
Yeah.
living life for a minute, but it's just unfortunate the way
That's
it
your
is.
favorite track from dude? My favorite track from him is Major, and I Believe I Could Fly with Snoop Dogg. Killed that shit.
Yeah, those tracks is fire. I like Preach.
Oh yeah.
Preach is probably my hardest song from him.
Yeah, I definitely feel like he was taken soon, and I feel like he wasn't even at his prime yet. Like he was getting better and better. Like so, I feel like it was definitely too soon. R.I.P.
Yeah, they had a comedian dude I saw on Instagram.
Oh yes,
and it was like he was popping shit about Young Dolph, and I guess like they shot him and killed him for popping shit about Young Dolph.
A comedian got killed for talking shit.
Well, that's what they were saying. Yeah, that he was talking shit or joking about it. Like, damn, like I want to be when I go out. I want to be a city legend or something like that. And guess what? He went out because they killed him. So
how did they kill him? Are you serious?
They shot him. Yeah.
What's his name?
Is he from Tennessee too?
Yeah.
Is he from Tennessee too? The comedian?
Yeah, I think he was like a local.
He's a local, comedian.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
So
No
that's a
regard
lot
for
going
human
on.
life.
Yo,
I think his name is pronounced Dumney, Dmuney. He was shot and killed a few days after joking about Young Dolph's death.
Yep.
Yo, you know what's
And he
crazy,
trolled his
though?
death on social media and all that jazz too. So he was talking a lot of shit.
You know, it's important to remember and keep in mind, all of us, even on this platform that we have. Oh, by the way, Sophisticated Ratchet, like, share, subscribe. This is what we do every Wednesday.
New episodes every Wednesday and all that. Yep.
Your words are power. Your words have so much fucking power, even our words.
100%.
Especially when you have a platform. The words that you say can change your life and the lives of people around you. So choose your words wisely.
Absolutely.
PSA.
Generally, don't speak ill of the dead
Also,
too. I feel like he had kids and all
also,
that, so I feel like it's inappropriate to even talk about.
I feel like this is also a good time to like talk about for gun violence and shit, and how we need to get that under control in our neighborhoods, because black people killing black people ain't cool, man. We just constantly killing each other. We do the racist work for them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's so much nuance to that, though, my G. Like which areas talking about and why they killing each other.
Black
like
people.
What's going on in the environment
that's
causing them to do that?
Black people killing black people in general, to me, bro.
Violence generally is going to be something that happens, but if they're specifically black on black violence, I always want to look at why. Like
no such thing as black on black crime.
It's not.
There's no such thing as black on black crime. It's just crime. But like the crime seems to be like it's out of control in our neighborhoods, in which we're running around killing
senseless killings, right? Yeah.
I remember even J. Cole was like he had a song where he like having a hotline for dudes that was quick to pick up the trigger, because a lot of dudes just quick to kind of react to violence when shit gets left, or when they tempers flare up. At least the young people anyway.
Yeah, I mean. Even back in the day, of course, we know it was crime, but at least you would shoot the fair one. You know what I mean? You fight niggas, like that's what it was. That's part of life. You got to get in a fight. You got to whatever. Okay, and then you're done after it. It's done. But
am I wrong to think that's? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
No, but the problem is that everybody got an ego. Niggas got an ego. So instead of the nigga trying to press me in front of the nigga trying to press me in front of a homegirl, and then you just go and just shoot somebody. It's like, come on.
But my man, it's crazy. Biggie Ben talked about this way back when. Like Biggie Ben talked about how people quickly picking up a gun to kind of resolve shit. Like even back in his time in the early '90s. So there's a part of me that thinks like, yo, this is kind of the everyday thing. It's always been like that. At least for certain sections. I'm not like from my personal experience, no. But like just listening to Biggie, for example, that type of behavior has been alive for quite some time. Around, I should say.
I mean, violence is always going to be around as long as you got people dealing with one another. But I do think that it doesn't
mentality behind it, though, my nigga. Like
just that it doesn't happen in a vacuum. That's really what I want to get at. Like, it's never as simple as just this nigga didn't like this nigga and killed this nigga. It's always something deeper than that. If it either is financially caused or it's some deeper level like heritage type shit or gang related shit, it's always
envy
deeper than what it seems to be. And I'm always curious like what that is, like the deeper level of what led to this cause and event. We don't ever get to scratch the surface of where these problems stem from. You know, it's always like, oh, this nigga killed this nigga, and that's it. But it's always deeper than that. And I think because we don't get to peel back the stories deeper than that surface level conversation, we whitewash it. I would say, like, we give it a overall objective, like this is just us acting this way, when it's not always the case.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel bad for our youth because, you know, after you kill somebody, either that team is looking for you, so you on the lookout, or you go to jail and your life is done. You know, so if you had kids, it's
or
just
you
ruining
yourself
the black
just go down the drain
family.
and become even worse as a result of that. Like, I'm not obviously no expert on this, but usually when you kill once, you don't stop at one. That's something I've kind of understood through film and shit. Like,
and also it's kind of interesting what you were saying, Mash, as far as, you know, how they whitewash it because they don't know the story. I mean, we don't really know what the true story of Young Dolph is. We don't know his background. We don't know, you know, what kind of beef he really had. We don't know what he was actually into. So whatever, you know, we only know the surface.
Right. Whatever type of beef he had, I do know that he touched a lot of people, and the loss of that life, like even just talking about the comedian, like he passed, the comedian said some wild shit, somebody else passed. You know, like it's a ripple effect. You know what I mean? Of how shit can go down. It's unfortunate, but this is the way it is.
Absolutely. Crazy. Well, let's talk into some, you know, news regarding. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
This month was crazy.
This month was definitely crazy.
Crazy.
And I wanted to jump into the Ahmaud Arbery case. You know, it's unfortunate that a mother lost her son, you know, for no reason. For no reason at all, because he was jogging and he was black while jogging. Let's be very clear about that. He was black while jogging, and she lost her son because he was black while jogging. However, at least, you know, and because I've been watching her after the trial and stuff like that, at least it gives her some peace and closure to know that the 3 individuals that gunned down her child is guilty on every charge, you know, for murdering her child. And I believe where they are in that particular part of Georgia, it's a life sentence.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So to know that, you know, I felt the judge was very fair. The defense just try to bring up. I'm laughing because it's the bullshit that they try to bring up, talking about how many black pastors is the family going to bring to court. Nigga, if I want to bring 100 black pastors, I'm gonna bring 100 in the courtroom.
I mean, I always assume they're gonna make up something. I always assume there's gonna be some made up shit to stall.
Like, what does that
what did that have to do? Right, exactly. He talked about his toenails, and the mother had to walk out of the courtroom because she was just like, "This is absurd." Like, you know, they're, you know, talking about my child and demeaning my child.
Similar to the Floyd case when his trial happened, or whatever.
Yeah, and I was gonna say another
when the
thing,
guilty verdict was rung out, or I heard that his father, like, you know, was excited and he said something, and the judge tried to throw him out the court. Like, what?
No, the judge. No, so the judge could, when you are, but no, in the courtroom when you're reading a verdict, you're asked not to make any, you know. So I get it. So outburst, exactly. So the judge did say, you know, whoever made the outburst, he said, I understand, but you have to, you know, be removed from the courtroom. We spoke about this before, you know, but I get it, you know. So
I mean, that's just a matter of there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that was inappropriate by the judge per se, because that's something that goes on in the courtroom and that he asked. But I get it, in your haste of just feeling relieved. Yes, I may shout out, and that's fine, and I'll remove myself afterwards. But I got that. Yeah, exactly. I'm fine. Right.
Guilty.
Exactly.
So just to give some more context.
I was gonna.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Master. Remember, we tag teaming this. So go ahead.
Facts. So the verdict was given on Wednesday. So all three of the people involved with the murder of Ahmaud Arbery got convicted.
Yes, let me give their names. It was Travis McMichael.
Right, he shot Arbery. He's guilty on all charges of malice murder, 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit a felony. His father, Greg McMichael, he rode in the bed of the pickup truck and pursued Arbery, is not guilty of malice murder, but guilty on all 8 charges. And William Rhodey, a neighbor who joined the pursuit, is guilty on 3 counts of felony murder, 1 count of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, a criminal attempt to commit a felony. Brian was cleared on charges of murder, a malice murder felony during the involved aggravated assault with the firearm. So basically they all going to jail.
They all going to jail.
They all going to jail.
Yeah, and it's saying that they're going to jail.
For me,
life.
I want to know how long they're going to jail for. Because if they get some bullshit slap on the wrist shit,
it said
with the.
I think we all need to also remember that when Arbury died, it took us some time to find out that he died and how he died. It took us a while to get to not just justice, but just finding out what even happened to the brother.
Exactly,
so
and they tried
Max
to cover
charges
it up.
all the motherfucking way.
They was originally let go.
Yeah, they did.
They let them go.
So that's
I think whoever the officer was, they need to investigate that as well. Why they were released?
No, it wasn't the officer. It was the lady who.
Jackie Johnson. Yeah, right. she's actually she's been charged. So they're trying to get a conviction on her. That's what they're going through right now. But also key point of the trial was the medical examiner. In my opinion, the medical examiner did an excellent job of, I guess trying to see if they were trying to say that as if he was struggling with them, but he talked about like the distance of Ahmaud being shot and all of these things, and I think that he was very clear. That he was very clear in his assessment.
Did anybody get a chance to actually watch the trial when it was going on? Like, sorry, let me say it different. Did anybody get filled in on the real details behind what happened after months and months of like them saying that, oh no, we was protecting this piece of property that this guy was stealing from? Like, did anybody catch any of that shit?
Right, not in the
no, but I know you were following it. So I was listening off of you.
These niggas just lied. They lied about everything. Everything that you said was the case at the beginning of the trial. Well, when the incident occurred, not the beginning of the trial, all lies, all of it. And the prosecutor in the case did such a fantastic job breaking these niggas down that it was impressive. It kind of made me want to get in the law. I was like, damn, shorty, she did that. She fucking did that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they in line under the court of law, that's an offense in itself. So they got to get Max for that. If they actually proven straight up lies, they done. I just
wish they had that same team involved in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and we could segue to that.
We're gonna segue to that.
Yeah. God damn, she did a fantastic job proving her case.
What's the name of that lawyer? Is there a name available for her?
Let me find her name. I got you. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, but, so she was able to lock them up because they thought they were cops, but they were only being pretentious.
And then exactly. Right. Exactly. They were.
You did that.
Definitely did, Shake. I forgot all about that.
Waiting for my time.
Exactly. So you looking up her name, right, Mash? Or are we gonna jump into Kyle Rittenhouse?
We can come back to it. I'm ready for it now.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump into Kyle Rittenhouse. Like you said, it was a lot. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't know. Well, I know like the dude that had the video. I know he had to be tight about like just getting the video
exactly
and whatnot, seeing it. But I'm just
he the one who gave the cops the video.
Well, he's the biggest idiot.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just glad that got out because I feel like if we weren't able to see that, then this would not have been
of course, exactly.
Not at all.
Super important, brother.
And they covered it up. They would try to cover it up.
Sleeping right under the rug.
They tried to cover it up because it was about 2 months that went by, and his mom was upset because she was like, "Yo, they're just walking around free." Like, and actually, it was Ahmaud's 2 friends who brought his situation to Sean King. Sean King is an activist. He's also on social media. He's on IG, and he has a friend named Lee Merritt, who's part of the legal team, and that is how they got the story out there. Actually, because the 2 friends reached out to Sean King to say, "Hey, this is what happened." They raised, matter of fact, yeah. So that's how they found out about that. Sean King, his team raised over $200,000 for Ahmaud's mom. So they do, they really have been doing work behind the scenes, and I just want to acknowledge them because honestly, without Sean King, nobody would really know what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. So, yeah.
Now Sean King is he's a big advocate for all
Yep, he's from Brooklyn.
Black people. I love that. Dude,
he's amazing. Yep. That's why I wanted to mention him. I definitely wanted to mention Sean King. Yep.
I just wanted to say to you guys, how many of you guys actually thought that they were gonna get off scot clean? Because after this, remember, this was dropped after Rittenhouse.
Not the way.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I don't know.
It was point blank to me for them to get a not guilty verdict.
But that's what my mom said too. She said it was so. She was like, it was impossible because even when my mother was like, oh, okay, well, she was like, it's impossible. There's no way.
That was a point blank murder.
I don't think there's no way that they could have got off as like not guilty. I thought there might be like there might be like a, what do you call it when
insanity verdict is what I was.
No. When the court proceeding doesn't, when they have to, a mistrial. Yeah, that's what I thought it might be. I thought it
might be some foul shit. I feel like it'd be corrupt shit.
But I kind of knew, like,
that was a slam dunk
just based off of the judge, for me, like, I kind of knew this was a no nonsense judge. Like, this man was not playing around. He wasn't for the shits. You know what I mean? Like,
for justice.
And I felt like he was fair. Like, he was really for justice, and he wasn't for the foolishness. When they talk about people coming into court, he was like, well, nobody knew Jesse Jackson was here until you mentioned it. So, what does this have to do with the case? Like, he wasn't playing none of them games. That's how I felt about the judge. Like, the judge was not here for the foolishness.
Well, like, based on what we've been going through, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, please, Lord, let them be found guilty. And then even after I said that, I'm like, that's still not justice for a mother.
Not at all.
That's still not justice. Like, he missed out on the rest of his life, and the family missed out on having their family. And I remember, and it just hit me when I was talking to my mom about it, and she said, there's no amount of money. We were talking about like life insurance and stuff like that, and justice, and like, guilty, not guilty. And she was like, I don't care about no verdict. I don't care about that. I just want my child. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of money.
Even with what you're saying right now, like, that's some real shit. But I'm even like compounding that, like, for Arbury, just the time it took for us to kind of get to this point, like just seeing the injustice and seeing the amount of work to be equal to regular justice that a regular person would get. And I think about, we was talking about earlier about black and black crime, and it's like shit like that makes you violent. Like when you gotta like play by the rules, and it's like you seeing the rules ain't getting you nowhere, and it would get you somewhere if you were like another type of person, for lack of a better term. And it's like that shit makes you angry. Like, if I was Arbery's mother, in terms of waiting for this verdict, waiting for just regular justice, it's just enraging. How could you not be?
Wow.
Anyway, it's justice, but still saddening nonetheless.
Hold on, Flash.
Oh,
Okay,
shit,
you was on mute. I could hear you saying something.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I get you now, bro.
Oh no, yeah, I was just saying, like, I agreed with the verdict, and I didn't think they were gonna get off, so I'm glad that they're gonna do the time that they're supposed to, and hopefully this just like shows how people shouldn't try to judge so quick or take the law into their own hands when it comes to assumptions and shit.
What do you mean by take the law?
I don't even think they took the law into their own hands. They just sit.
I mean, they felt like they were guarding this building,
but they said they did a citizen's arrest, so they did try to.
Yeah, that's what they thought they would do.
Even think about how you do a citizen's arrest. You approach someone, you talk to him like a human being. They gunned him down like he was.
They did.
That's not the appropriate way to ever do that. Citizen's arrest, cop, otherwise. That was a human being. He got gunned down for nothing.
I think it depends on who you're talking to and what you look like.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with that, but
neither do I.
No, I don't agree with it. We're not agreeing with it. We're just saying that's what it is. Yeah, that doesn't mean we agree with it though.
Because if we talk about Kyle Rittenhouse, because I'm just
yeah, I'm just go ahead, go tap. No, jump in. Because I'm gonna jump in on
in terms of who you are and what you look like. This. So one thing that when I was researching this topic, Jacob Blake is the reason why Kyle Rittenhouse did what he did. Jacob Blake, if you all don't remember, was a black father with his 4 kids in the car, and he got shot by the cops. Now he's paralyzed from the waist down. Right? He was with his family. He's like, yo, then they detained him. And he didn't want to be detained anymore. They didn't have a reason for detaining him, and he left and he got shot in the back. Now, after that, that's what caused the riots that caused Kyle Rittenhouse to want to go out and protect these local owners. So this dude drove cross state lines with this semi-automatic weapon to go do so.
Absolutely.
That shit sounds crazy to me. Like just that breakdown of what happened. These people this man was done wrong. They went to protest. You went there to keep the peace with this semi-auto weapon, killed 2 people, harmed one,
injured another one.
And you skating scot-free because you a victim?
Exactly. And then the person
he's now a hero to those people
that sold you the gun, obviously, because he was 17, so he was underage. That person obviously is in legal issues, but not your mother who drove you. Because if I'm mistaken, didn't his mom drive him across the?
Am I wrong to even try to connect those two?
Mother, my thing is you. So at that point, you knew your child had a gun. You drove him across to he wasn't there. It's not like he was there protesting. You drove the man.
Yeah, like his intentions wasn't to
right.
Your intention.
What was your intention? Because
Jacob Blake,
you would have protested.
I feel like it's independent of that.
Right. And Rittenhouse was just everything in the Rittenhouse case for me was extra. He sat there obviously he was, with his fake crying and walking around, just even being pretentious in the court with the crying bullshit. And it's like, sir, stop. The judge in the case to me was, we already knew what it was with the judge. I don't know if you guys heard this part 2 of the case.
I heard, I've read and heard some
yes,
things.
The judge phone went off, and when his phone went off, it played a song that Trump always comes out to. Yeah, so to me, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, this is
after
crazy.
the trial, the judge took a selfie with the defendant, which I thought was fucking
very inappropriate
and
like, disrespectful.
What the fuck? Like, that's a clear bias. That is a 100% clear bias between the judge and
absolutely.
And
but that's what I'm telling you. And it was disrespectful to the victim's family. You're gonna sit there and take a picture with him, and then after that, Rittenhouse and Trump met up, of course, and they have a picture. So
he's considered like
I find it absolutely disgusting that they'd even try to tie it to like Jacob Blake. Like I feel like they're using it as a scapegoat.
And I'm gonna be honest, it's with this particular.
Can we talk about who the victims are?
Right. That's what I'm gonna just get there. I was very shocked with this trial, honestly, because all the victims was white. So I was like, oh, he's going down.
That's what I was just about to say.
The fact that he got off and they were white people, I was
crazy.
Like, wow. That to me, and that's sad to say because they were white. You know what I mean? Like, that's really sad. But but that's how we've been conditioned because they've been doing.
It's factual though, Mo. That's factual as fuck though.
It is factual. And so when he got off, and I was like, wait, these were white people, and he got off.
No shade. A black person guns down 3 white people.
Shout out to
he's
every
done.
white person.
He's cooked.
Yes, shout out to all. Yes, absolutely. All.
Shout out to all the allies. Even if you're not black or you don't identify as black, but you support the cause, we appreciate you and
we acknowledge you.
Shout out to the victims' families. And I'm
I have the names
so
as well.
sad for them. But now they also see what we go through too when we don't get like a guilty verdict. You know what I'm saying? We don't feel like we have justice. So now they see it too. And it's just
what
sad.
does justice look like to y'all? We keep throwing that word out. What does that look like?
I know.
I feel like that has different interpretations. But
it's not
allow me
really
to at least put the victims' names out there just for posterity. Anthony Huber, Joseph Rosenbaum, and forgive me if I mispronounce this, Gage Grosskreutz.
Okay.
Yeah,
these are the shooting victims for Kyle Rittenhouse shooting victims.
Right.
TJ, what does justice look like for you?
Yeah, so I mean, it varies for this situation. Like, like I said earlier, there's really no justice because I just want my family member back, right? My child, my uncle, my aunt, my cousin, whatever, my husband, sister, whatever. But at least in the judicial side of it, like here in this world, right? I would at least want that done. Like I want them to go to jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? Be found guilty.
So let's take our current judicial system out of the mix, right?
I
you queen of the world. Your Mo was wronged by someone. Something happened. What type of repercussion do you consider justice?
Well, me and Mo, we from the Bronx. So if I know who they are, I might hit somebody up. And that's how we get justice in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
So
and
are you saying like a life for life justice?
Yes. That's how I would feel if it was, my family.
I absolutely agree with that.
And I know that sounds horrible, but like
I feel like that's how it is when you think about it.
It's not even full justice because I'd rather have my best friend than having to kill somebody else's life. And I wouldn't personally do it, but even putting the person that I would ask to do it at risk because they go to jail.
It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. If it comes from your direction, whether you do it or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And
so
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I was going to say, I think it depends on the situation because justice, like we said, could look different, right? Now, to me, if the person is murdered, let's say is murdered, for example, there really is no justice because you still lost that person. But let's say an incident happens where, you got shot, but it was, you do the backstory and you was shot unjust. Right. And then you sue and then you get yes, you got justice. I'm still able to walk. However, that put me through an incident. I may be traumatized, but now I got monetary compensation for my pain. So yes, that may be justice. I'm still here on the earth. However, if it's like somebody getting murdered, that's different because that person is not here at all. So it's like, really, do I get justice? Yes. I'm happy that they found the person and they're guilty. But and even though we're like, yes, they spend the rest of their life in jail or whatever may have you, but guess what? They're still living, right? They still living. They just living. They're living in jail. So when you kind of think about it, like, now I want them to be fucking dead, like because my kid ain't living. So even
Keep it
yes,
100
they've
with you,
been.
like in the I obviously I can't speak from experience, but I feel like that's what the higher ups are doing. The people with power and just the resources available, they're not putting you in jail if you really do something wrong to their kind of family. Like it ain't different from the medieval Game of Thrones times where someone will get someone to get someone to get at you. And I feel like in some certain areas that's exactly what's going on. We're not able to do that because we don't have the power and resources to as just common people. But in terms of justice, for me, it would be like having clarity between how that person died, who killed him, etc., and just putting the right amount of justice, making sure that the people involved all suffer or all pay that price.
So let's say hypothetically, somebody wrong your moms.
Correct.
Violate your moms 100%. What type of justice do you deem fit?
I need to understand the violation. Did he put hand, like if he
raped your
my
moms,
hand,
raped your moms,
castration at the minimum, castration. He ain't doing that again.
Okay. So castration is just so you won't kill him, you just cut his dick off.
If in terms, well, I'm talking just kind of answering the question like generally. I don't know the specifics, but in terms of punishment for the crime, if I had to set an example for rape going forward, and it's kind of hypothetical.
You're not setting an example. You just dealing with the law.
In terms of justice, like what would be justice? I wouldn't do jail, castration, or chemical castration. Make it so you don't do it again.
Okay.
What's a chemical castration?
I don't know. It's how you gonna melt
I'm not intricate on the process, but I've heard about
it. No, I'm literally. I don't know if I'm still high from last night, but I'm just like, yo, what if?
I feel like rape is something
was
that
right, and like if after you rape somebody, instead of going to jail, you get castrated. I think niggas was twice about
that will send a very clear message about forcing yourself inside a woman. That's unacceptable. No means no, especially in terms of elderly rape. I feel like that's horrendous and unacceptable. To be honest, I feel like you should die, but I feel like that's extreme. So
I don't think people
make sure you can't use your dick again.
That's not going to scare people off from doing shit. I mean, people know that you're going to go to jail or you're going to be punished somehow by doing crimes. But niggas commit crimes every day.
Not if those crimes are severe. There ain't no castrations going on like that. People would think twice if you see eunuchs walking around. That's gonna make you think differently, my nigga.
You got a lot of niggas that don't think twice.
I don't know, my nigga, because I feel like in certain countries, like if you steal,
they cut your hand off. I was just you're right, man.
You ain't got no fucking hand, my nigga. That'll make you look twice.
That's different in terms of hunger,
stop stealing and shit,
and theft. I feel like those are two different things to tackle. Obviously, the people are stealing because they're hungry. I don't look at rape as a need. I don't, you know what I mean? Like no one needs to rape a woman.
No, I'm just giving that for
my respect for death.
I'm just giving an example in terms of like what the repercussions are for that action. Like the repercussion for that is you lose your hand. The repercussion for
but I wouldn't tie it to the same. Like in terms of theft, I feel like it would be a different crime, and I'd have to look at it differently. I wouldn't look at theft the way I would look at rape. In terms of justice, I look at it two completely different things.
Right. I think he was just giving. I just think Mash was giving an example and saying in some countries something, like we said, maybe not severe as rape, but something like theft. You're getting your hand cut off. So you start, so if they're starting that, of course, you're gonna think twice, like, all right, well, damn, should I? Nah, you go back and forth.
I don't look at the loss of property the same way I look at the loss of life. That's why I can't take that seriously.
The more one-arm niggas you see in the hood, let you know you should be in that neighborhood. Them niggas still in that hood. There's a bunch of one-arm niggas there. Nah, I'm not going. I'm not going to that hood.
Imagine getting your hand chopped off for stealing an apple. Like, and I don't know. I feel like there would be so much revenge in that kind of scenario. I feel like that's extreme.
You're thinking about it in a specific context, but for the castration example that you gave, right? I think that's legit. I think that is a legit response for rape victims. I ain't never been raped, but if I was to think of justice, I feel like that's appropriate.
I feel can't ever do that again.
Right.
Yeah. I feel
Flash, like you disagreed with it. Why? Why do you feel like that's not that's not acceptable or not enough? Castration.
Wait, castration?
Can't rape no more without dick, bro.
I mean, I get it, but there's just a level of punishment that I don't think we need to inflict on people.
It's extreme. Would fly.
Yeah. It's like we don't want to be like savages.
You sympathizing for the victim?
I feel like rape is very like. I'm not talking about like a regular domestic rape where it's like it could be interpreted between like parties. I'm talking about a factual.
You all right with a nigga getting castrated? How many rapes he got to have on his belt before you like? All right, cut his dick off.
I'm just not a fan of like castration. I guess I like there are other ways to punish people, and you don't gotta castrate
How
them,
would
I
you
guess.
punish a rapist in that kind of situation in terms of
a
making sure
serial-
that
a
he don't like
serial
him and
rapist.
other people like that don't ever get the notion of raping
I mean,
again?
this nigga
But
raped
then use
That's
the
the
same.
point. That's the point of justice for
No,
me.
but
Like
you,
making sure that
but
like
use
this.
the same
but
context
this is
because it was
this
your
is my
mom.
thing.
So
See, justice is very subjective because everybody has their own like level of how much harm or how much shit they want to do to somebody in order to like. And this is how like revenge shit even happens anyway. And this is why street shit gets so out of control and shit because
right.
everybody want to take justice into their own hand. And sometimes it looks like issues with motherfuckers wanting to shoot each other and shit because everybody got their own fucking way of justice and shit. So I just feel like it's very subjective, and you got to be
That
very
is
careful
punishment.
about what we call justice because it's I don't know. That's just
Wait,
like
Flash, can I ask you a
Well,
question then, bro? In
what?
terms of the scenario that Mash gave me,
Mhm.
if a hypothetical rape were to happen to an elderly woman that you're close to, what would your
This is the thing,
interpretation of
though.
justice be for that?
I wouldn't let that rely just on me. That's number one because justice for me means that there's input from multiple folks about like how we really should go about this, and if that
Oh, so you
forms the
leave it
law.
to another group of people to
No,
kind of
I
decide
said a
that.
group of us. I said a group of us, and sometimes that's not necessarily for me because when we're talking about like even raping women, why like
I'm asking a
let the
specific
women
scenario,
decide
my
that.
guy. Like in a specific scenario, like that Mash gave me, that someone rape, hypothetically will rape a. I don't want to say older mother. That's but
I'll give
someone
you one.
rape.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one.
I want to give him the same one, but go ahead.
Hypothetically, someone takes Journey.
Mhm.
Hypothetically, someone breaks into your house, takes Journey,
Mhm.
and we find the Journey didn't make it.
Mhm.
We catch the culprit. What's
Right.
justice look like?
Well,
to
I'm
you?
not giving that person justice. I'm gonna give that person my whole intention of wanting to kill that person. That's not justice, though. That's
I'm
me wanting
asking,
to.
but relax.
But you in
That's
this
not
scenario, you
justice.
have to have justice.
But-
Okay,
well,
like
so
don't even
wait,
connect it to you, Flash. Like
wait. Take the word justice out of it.
Wait. Yeah, take the
What type of response do you think is appropriate?
for that.
and for all individuals like that, for lack of a better term, I guess, right?
Well, that's the thing, though. Once again, I can't speak for all individuals.
No,
But
I
when
was
you-
saying for
when
this
you- when
making
you
it
talk
hard
about
for him,
something
bro.
that's just
Be specific.
No, but I can't be specific. I got to be specific with this situation. If it's
No, I'm telling
something that's
Boogie
close to
making it
home.
hard about not
No,
making it
yeah,
as
but yeah,
specific.
because he added
Yeah,
in
so
there.
so when it's
that
close
was-
to
He's
the
gonna try
home
to
for
find
me,
a way out, Boogie. He likes to do this.
no. When it's closer to home for me, of course I'm not going to be thinking straight. Of course I'm going to be angered. Of course I'm going to do something that I might feel justified in doing, but that doesn't mean that it's justice.
I want to
And
know what
just-
that is.
What
I
you're
wanna know what
saying
that
is what any human being would feel like in that situation, my guy. Of course, they're going to want to
once again,
exact that
people
kind of
feel
revenge.
different based on the connection, how close that connection is. So it's going to be different as far as like how I would feel for somebody else in terms of that situation. Because me, I'm gonna want to kill the nigga. That's me personally. But I'm not gonna expect everybody to feel like that. This is why I say we need to have conversations as groups because my feelings can't be the only feelings based off of this. I could be just really stuck in my emotions. So, and I don't feel like that's justice at the end of the day. That's just me being angered. And
Am I
wanting to
wrong in saying
react.
in the scenario that
But
Mash
in-
gave you, Flash? If all of us was present during that scenario, someone took Journey, we all found Journey. You want to go kill this nigga? I don't think you need to
All right,
consult
look,
with the
no,
five
no,
of us.
number one, if
We
you-
understand
if
what
you
you're gonna
found-
do. Probably some of us gonna join you doing it. Like
Now,
we all gonna have
if
that
she was
feeling.
returned safely and everything.
No,
it's
she
cool.
not.
No, she
returned.
didn't
No,
make it. She
that
did
wasn't
not
in
make
this
it,
scenario.
Did
Flash.
not make it.
So the
That
feeling that you
wasn't-
have, how
so-
could you not expect someone else to have that? A fellow
But that's
father,
the
or
thing,
just
though.
someone who,
Now,
you know.
now
What I
this
mean?
is my thing. Now, initially, that may be my feelings, but my
Right.
feelings also may change over time. And this is me because I'm a nigga that just like learns how to grow and sometimes even forgive and shit like that. So don't speak from this. Is why I say my mind different as far as how I approach shit.
You
You
would
know what I'm
forgive
saying?
that. I
There
feel
are
you. That's
phases.
different.
There are phases to how you might go through or feel certain shit. So yeah, maybe
Absolutely.
initially that's my thing, but then you may give me a couple months, and I might just have to get certain things off of my mental that don't make me feel like I need to be in such a deep space. That's dark.
No, I feel you, my nigga, 100%.
agree.
Especially if you got other things and other shit going on, like to try to balance it out. But I'm thinking, there's some people that just don't subscribe to that. You got, for Arbury's mother, or just people that were slain overall and no justice was found. No one's gonna be. It's difficult to kind of have that forgiveness mentality when justice is not served.
And that's
or at least
hard,
their version
bro.
of it is not served.
And that's very hard. But I've seen it before, and I'm not saying people are incapable of it. And sometimes no, we're not going to want to forgive anybody, especially when it's so fresh and when it's so new and everything like that. And I get that, like, but everybody has to
It's also a
have their
possibility you
own.
can't forgive shit neither. Like murder is real sometimes, and people like
Murder's always
regardless of the
going to be
destruction
real,
background,
brother.
they can't forget that shit, and
Murder's
they
always
won't.
going to be real. But like I said, do I feel like justice was served as far as the Ahmaud Arbery joint? Yeah, absolutely. Like that's what I agree with. But once again, there's a level to what I still feel like justice would. Do I feel like all those dudes need to be like on death row and shit like that? Probably not.
No.
There's different levels of justice. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's
No, I
move.
feel you, Flash.
I feel you.
I
I
always
don't feel you. You bugging.
Yeah.
like I mean I understand this perspective, but I look at it like if you have people in prison, right? Like obviously they're gonna be locked up. There's gonna be taxpayer money spent to keep them locked up, maintain it. That's why it's like for the crime that they all committed, the senseless, heinous act of it, you should sacrifice your life for that. In my opinion, like if I was to gun down someone like that, I gotta go. Like why lock me up for 20, 30, 50 years for what? I'm sorry, that's just me.
I don't know, cause I feel like you got some of these young gangbangers. They get trained young. They're in an environment, and they do things, not knowing like, yeah, that's gonna cost them a whole lot of years and shit. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess I'm just looking at like
youth too. It's different.
Justice is different. Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah,
I look at like a lot of environment shit. I look at a lot more than just like what happened at the moment. So.
And I ain't gonna lie, the situation just hit differently. If like a child, like in the situation Max gave me, if a child was to have done that to my mom, I'm not sure I'd be reacting with the same kind of intensity I have for a grown adult. Just in reference to what you're saying, Flash, like children committing crimes just is looked at so much differently. At least for me, it would. Because I always feel like there's a chance for them to do better, but that's not 100% black and white.
Do you think that was the feeling of the jury who acquitted Kyle Rittenhouse of his actions? You think they feel like
what's crazy?
I mean, he did like he shed tears and all that, and like respectfully, I am not moved by that, but I would not be surprised if someone else was moved by that in terms of his defense. That's not me trying to like
back it up. Looking like the self-defense piece too,
right?
It was a video,
that's
right?
Number one.
Flash.
They had a video, and I also feel like when we think just because somebody got off, you also have to look at like what they were actually charged with and shit like that. And we have to. It's like I feel like sometimes what they're charged with, you can sometimes kind of tell, yes, if this is something that they're gonna actually be guilty of or not. And I think like with his joint, they were saying like, did he go out there with the intent to kill? Like the wording is so specific savvy. In terms of what the jury is supposed to like say, like, was he guilty of this, like to the whole degree? So, and it's like when I read some of it, it's not that I agree with it. I'm just sitting here like
the wording helps him get out of it, right?
Right.
Yeah, so and I think not to cut you, and I think also in his situation, it was the video because it looks like the victims were running towards him with it, so I think that's how he was able to kind of pass with the self-defense theory there because it was on video. And I believe one of the victims or two, I'm not correct, had guns themselves. So in that situation, it
looked good for him, especially
so in that situation, right? The other person had a weapon as well. So at that point, it's like, okay, well, are you going to take me out? I'm going to take you out first. This is self-defense, especially when I'm being, I guess, coming with 3 people around me. So I guess that's what playing that into I'm just trying to put myself in a juror's mindset and maybe looking at something like that, you can kind of see it or be like, you know what, was that so? Like you said, what was the intent? Was that?
I mean, based on how it looks, he can manipulate it to be like, yeah, they came at me, but due to the fact the other 2 ain't allowed to kind of tell their side, we never know for sure. But it looks like
one of them
he may have been the victim, and the other 2 may have been aggressive.
Didn't they catch him making a statement like, I'm coming out here to kill these people or something like that? Or he has made a comment or something like
to that effect about a week before. He's like, I wish I had my gun if they did some shit like that. Let me pull that shit up.
Yeah, because the charges that they had for him were first-degree intentional homicide, attempted first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and first-degree recklessly endangering. I guess it's the same thing. Or maybe, I guess it's the same count, but for different victims and whatnot. But yeah, so it's like, you got to pay attention to the wording on what those actually mean and why the jury actually found him not guilty of those things. And I think that just plays a big part as to why I'm not surprised, like for his case.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to wait for you. Fuck him.
Nash, moving along. You want to jump into LeBron?
Oh,
And then we
we
hit on
could
with the
talk about
PJ.
that.
Yeah.
So, my man LeBron was ejected last week from a Lakers game when they was playing Detroit. So apparently, he got into a little altercation with this gentleman by the name of Isaiah Stewart from the Detroit Pistons. They was jumping for a rebound, and Bron hit him in the face, and then they had exchanged words. And then once my man Isaiah saw that he was bleeding, my man turned up all the way, and he tried to get at Bron. And then when he tried to get at Bron, Russell Westbrook threw his fist up like he was going to get crazy.
He wasn't going to do shit.
My
man tried to dive for him like a WWE play, like he was stone cold. I think he even ended with him going to the Lakers locker room at the end, like he was livid.
Yeah, no, he definitely wanted to scrap. He wanted to scrap because I feel like, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights when the shit happened, but I know basketball and I know like when you playing, shit happens, but somebody said some slick shit out their mouth to that nigga. There's no way that shit happened because the replay, it didn't start off as hot as it got. Like he hit him. And then after a minute,
I saw the shit, my guy. Like they was just jostling for position on the rebound. I think they had some words, but like you know how it is in terms of basketball. It wasn't nothing too serious. But when the ball was up in the air and they kind of separated, LeBron's hand kind of moved to kind of like get him away so he can like secure himself. But he hit his face.
Hit him. Yeah, his elbow. Hit his
so
face.
Like it wasn't like LeBron didn't intentionally aim for space. He just did his thing to kind of create space for himself. So it just kind of escalated due to that. Like he got hit hard just due to bad luck.
I agree with you, but I just feel like in terms of it evolving to what it evolved into, because it turns like a big thing. Like they had to clear all the benches and all the referees popped out to stop these niggas from fighting. Somebody's popping shit. You're not gonna do that off just a hit. You're not.
My man was really getting aggressive though. Like everybody had to hold him back. He kept kind of go after LeBron. I feel like
I
the first
to ask too. Wasn't at one point didn't it appear as if LeBron was trying to apologize to him?
It looked calm for a second. Then he went right back in.
He walked up to him, right? Like he walked up to LeBron. It looked like it was going fine, and then I don't know what happened. It's like he just lost control after that. Because I kind of watched it a couple of times to kind of see, like, okay, he walked up to him. It looked like they were, and then Isaiah went crazy.
I feel like that's where somebody said something. Somebody said something.
In the NBA though, in terms of the contracts and all that, you got like. And it's LeBron James. LeBron James ain't really the one to kind of flex on like that. Like that's not the person to kind of make your name on because he's looking crazy right now.
Tell that shit to Isaiah.
Because Isaiah was not having it. Homeboy
I understand he felt disrespected, but he
did. His whole coach team. He went through his coaches. Then he ran to go because they said, in the tunnel. I guess they thought he was going to run to the other side of the locker room. It was.
That's dangerous for the NBA though. Good luck, like when any teams want to play with that guy, just because of that. Like, that's reckless.
He gonna get so much respect in Detroit from doing that shit. He's gonna be like the next enforcer that Detroit has for like the next 2 seasons. He gonna be their go-to nigga because that's what Detroit do.
Assuming he don't get bullied again, my guy. He get another eye wound and he'll do shit now.
Detroit has a legacy of having aggressive basketball players, from the bad boys to just fucking the riot that they had with the Pacers. Detroit got real niggas on their gang, and this is just another reflection of that. So we're gonna see how this goes.
But you know what I wanted to say really quickly, even though it's funny, but it's not funny. Your Westbrook is always on go. Westbrook be ready. Westbrook he be in the background ready to go. He's just like say the word go.
But Westbrook be airball and shit.
I can't match Westbrook's gangster with his outfits. I feel like his outfit makes me feel like he can't be as tough as he appears to be when I see him on TV because he looks crazy.
His outfits
what does he wear? Because I'm not a big basketball fan.
What
does he wear?
He wears bright colors, I believe.
he wears the opposite of how he plays because he's he's one of my favorite players actually. He's very aggressive. He's always on go. He's like it's. And like,
did I say he always on go? He be always on go.
Yes, his outfits is just like not my taste, not my taste. I'm good.
I've always respected his independence though. He
wears different colors.
Check the chat, bro.
I'm definitely
all right. So Nash sends a Google link.
Yeah, that's a good Google link. It's a lot of bright colors. That's all I'll say. A lot of bright colors.
Just check the chat, dogs. It's different.
But you know what's wild? Okay. Westbrook is just
skirts and stuff.
But real talk, he's a quiet kind of chill dude in real life, or at least from when I see him in like interviews postseason, like he always makes time with his wife and child. So it's like,
but you know what's wild
really
though?
Rambunctious like his outfits are.
You could tell these like some of these motherfuckers don't give a fuck because even Dennis Rodman used to be one of my favorite players back in the day.
And he always was kind of that wild shit.
Yeah. And I love Dennis Rodman's just because on the court he's just a different
He's an
beast.
animal.
It's a different
Person,
beast.
yeah. Mhm.
So
Like, he was aggressive in a defensive way. Like, he's the guy that chased down the ball like a motherfucker. If that shit was going out of bounds, that motherfucker would dive to kind of reclaim it, pass it to his man. Like, that was that nigga.
And have y'all seen how people's coming for KD as well?
Nah,
Because
KD, they're talking about his ashiness.
Oh, with his ashiness?
He look like scales. They're like snakes.
I
want them. And then they talking about his hair. Like,
that's disrespectful.
I be having them days too. I don't even care.
Yo,
that's disrespectful.
Just for that. Just put some oil in the shower after you shower. Just put some oil.
My man had a long day.
You don't even have to do no craziness.
Yo, and
keep
in the winter,
shower.
it's not even that serious in the winter. Come on, yo.
But that shit was
give him a break. Give him a break.
Oh my gosh.
That's a
yo.
big
Do y'all feel like that
for
ejection for LeBron was real though? I don't feel like he should have been ejected.
Ashy.
Like, I know people was talking about him being ejected for that punch. I don't think he should have. Maybe like flagrant 2, but just foul shots, but not an ejection.
I'm not sure he should, but I think they're probably going to use him as an example. Oh, you just seeing it, Nash? You just seeing it?
Wait. So before we move on to LeBron, right? So you know how everybody's talking shit about KD and his ashy ankles. This nigga responded. He was like, "I'm about to pull my y'all broke card for a second." Check
Yes,
the fuck up.
Yeah, he did respond. Yep, he did respond.
Yo, when you
He's like, I'm actually but I got money to buy lotion.
That's the best answer you got. Like, shut up, y'all broke.
Exactly.
That's so dismissive and condescending. That's not the perfect answer to no questions, my nigga.
Well, no, because he's saying he don't care. Like, you know, he probably maybe.
Yo, you know the best thing I
question,
heard.
though.
Nigga said like you'll never see somebody doing better than you hate on you. So I was just sitting here like, damn.
And people hate on KD a lot.
Oh my god.
People do hate on KD a lot.
All right, let's jump into. I think this is Flash. If you don't have anything, I think the last person is TJ.
Yeah,
Jumping into that reality TV.
Okay, yeah. So we kind of started off really serious. And
yeah, so now let's get into
joking stuff. So, all right. So on the reality TV news, I'm just going to give you guys an update on Married at First Sight. Even though we thought the season was over, where the couples decided whether they wanted to stay together or not, there's a lot of shit going down behind the scenes. So the first thing is only 2 couples ended up deciding that they were going to stay married, and that was Rachel and Jose, and that was Mirla and Gill. So out of the 5 couples, only 2 couples decided to stay married. And both of those couples are already having shaky times. So remember, Rachel and Jose is the guy that they're the Hispanic couple. He's the guy that kicked her out of the house, locked the door. And you guys
is that the one that was the pretentious dude that was trying to like date every other chick?
Yes, he did a good job with that.
Okay. Yes, we all got one.
Did a good job using that word. Yes, he is a pretentious one. So I guess they were having issues because he has a house because he's very organized. He already had a house. So after decision day, she moved in with him. And he just became very specific about his things. And it's coming off as she didn't feel like she was at home after she moved in. He's like, when are you going to pack your stuff? When are you going to do this? Can you move this? Can you move that? So she didn't feel like she was at home, and they had some squabs, and they kind of broke up. And they decided to stay married, but they're living in separate places, and they're moving very slowly. And they have the intention to kind of move back in with each other. But I'm just wondering to myself, and I want to pose this question to you guys. If the ultimate goal in a relationship is to get married, you move in with somebody, and when you move out, isn't that what are we doing now? Are we dating again?
Keep it 100. I'm not sure. I feel like that's breaking up, in my opinion.
Right.
I'm
okay. Yeah. No, I'm gonna say, or they need to have a conversation, because we have to be clear. These are 2 people who lived by themselves individually. So my thing, with me personally, we should have been purchasing something together. Correct. Together, because me going into
your space, but if it didn't work financially, I don't feel
right. Right. Or it could be not even that, but we have to talk about that, because I don't want to come in your space and then I'm feeling uncomfortable because it's your space. You may not want to come in my space because you feel
that's how she's feeling.
Uncomfortable.
I was thinking about personal space, and that's the only thing I could think of is I want to have my own kind of space just for my kind of peace of mind. And I don't know if sometimes you can't get that living with someone else. That's just me though.
Yeah, but you're married. You're married. So what are you going to do when you get married, Boogie, and you need your personal space? Go to the gym. Right? Or go hang out with your boys.
TJ.
Right?
It's not that
what are you gonna do when you're married?
But TJ,
or find the space in the house that
or create have a bigger space.
Mash? Yeah, I know Mash was trying to.
My fault. I was trying to say this the circumstances that you just outlined in this situation is different though. Like they got married before they even met each other.
Correct.
So, I could see how they can have a problem adjusting and cohabitating because they don't know each other. Like you don't know the perks.
It's still new.
Right. You don't know just how tedious a nigga is until you live with
They
them.
don't even know how they shit smell. Like they just got together. So it's
but
like,
what I do
So-
appreciate,
So
I was
this
gonna say
is
what I
the premise
appreciate
of the
about the show.
They've been together for at least 2 months.
And what I was gonna say is that I appreciate the show. What the show does is that they have them live together after they get married in an
Yeah,
apartment.
that's what I was gonna say.
So
They've been
you are
living together
kind
for
of-
2 months.
Right. So you are getting to know the person.
So when they were living together for those 2 months, they weren't living in a mutual. We're living in a mutual place, right?
Correct.
And that's
Yep.
completely different from moving into
that's
my
exactly-
shit. You moving into
Exactly.
my shit?
Yep.
It's different.
That's
'cause
what
I'm
Mom just
establishing
said.
my routine.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
So
exactly what I'm
I
saying.
can definitely
Yeah.
understand why that would cause some confusion, but at the end of the day, you got to figure out if you really want to deal with this person's shit because
that's easier said than done. Like you could be in a relationship with someone for a year and moving in together. That's a huge undertaking. There's a lot to kind of balance and get figure out. But brand new people that just met each other, married, and now moving to move it, that is so much to fucking grasp in terms of just day to day. Making sure that you have your sense of self and trying to make sure that she herself is good as well. For your partner or whatever. So I feel like it's a lot more work than we give it credit for to really balance that shit.
Yeah.
I think,
And
for the same
marriage
reason
is up for a lifetime. Go ahead, Mash.
No, go ahead, baby, go.
No, I was just saying that marriage is a lifetime. So if you are not figuring it out right now and you think moving out is going to help you guys, and they said since she moved out, like they're on the phone more, they're really connecting.
Good.
So, they're actually building the relationship a little bit better. And I think what Mash and Mo mentioned is what the issue was. They didn't have any issues where they were in this mutual space together. Although him locking her out does show he had this ownership a little bit.
Yes.
And it,
Definitely
which was a flag.
Correct.
And it happened in the house because it was his house, and he's very money conscious too. So he was the only one that owned property. I don't think she owned property. Maybe she was just renting. So it made sense for her to move in with him.
Correct.
But like you guys said, if we're moving into a mutually exclusive space, where they did better in that environment as opposed to moving into his space. But they're working it out, and marriage is for a lifetime. So
I mean, is it?
I feel like every relationship is different as well, especially with modern times. So I feel like maybe that's not too far fetched to be together, but have different places. I don't know.
What you said, Flash?
No. I was asking, does marriage really have to be for a lifetime? In terms of I know what marriages and why people get married, but does it really have to be for a lifetime?
I feel like marriage should be redefined, to be honest, because we still kind of confine it to one person.
Yeah,
well, technically, a lot of people still look at marriage as one man and one woman, and that's it. They don't look at anything else. So it's I feel like marriage overall should be kind of redefined. I mean, obviously, of course, it's gay marriage and all that.
Yeah, if I got 20 wives and I downgrade to 18, is that bad? Is that bad?
Yeah, to be honest, polygamous marriages is something I feel like should be kind of talked about.
That's crazy.
If you got enough bread for 20 wives, 18 ain't gonna kill you. You good?
Was it forever?
But there's a lot of work that goes into that. So this is so crazy.
Yeah, 18 wives, that's a lot of work.
That's the thing, though. Even being married to one person does require a lot of work. And sometimes I do understand people grow out of trends and stuff like that. And I feel like you should be married as long as you can find purpose and happiness and whatever this is with the partner. But if certain things just fade and you're not getting certain things from this relationship, I don't feel like it has to be forever though. I feel like if you make it forever, as far as you continually work on that relationship and it grows and it feels good to you, and great. But if it's something that's a mundane task, if it's something that is not adding value,
if this nigga's fucking you up, this nigga's fucking you up every day, and you decide to stay off the strength of you being married, that's crazy.
Nah,
your sense of life, you can have a good wife and she could be going good, but if you yourself are not happy in a situation, that's also grounds for you know what? Yeah, this is not for me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, marriage is the title, but happiness is the pursuit. So I don't subscribe to marriage having to be forever. I just be honest with you.
I do. The only counter I could think of is that if you choose a female to be married with,
yeah, bring it back.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I'll let you finish, Boogie, because you were saying something. Go ahead, Boogie.
No, I was gonna actually go back on Flash thing, but let's bring it back because I was gonna try to flip his perspective.
No, the premise of being okay. You gonna say what you said?
No, go ahead, TJ. Ladies first.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if there's a delay or whatever. Okay. So the premise of getting married is this lifetime partner. And so you should always be looking forward to like working on this relationship, working on this partner. But in no marriage are you going to be 100% happy every fucking day. It's going to get mundane. It's going to get boring. And it's up to you guys to work on that. And I'm not saying stay in it if it's abusive or something like that. But if you're thinking about leaving because it's boring and it's mundane, like, that's up to you to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Because marriage is a
I disagree with that,
it's a
TJ.
lifetime.
Now, I have a question. Like obviously you are in charge of your own happiness. I get that. You got to initiate that. But if you're in a relationship with someone and you're not happy with that person, it can be argued that you initiating that is draining you. It's you putting in effort and energy, and maybe, and that's assuming that the
Both
partner
people need to be
does the
putting it
same
in.
thing as well.
Both people.
But I feel like in terms of what you said, that initial kind of me putting out that energy, I feel like a lot of times people do that in their own way and it's not received. That's why there's a lack of doing that. People usually want to move on because they usually try in their own way to kind of initiate that energy, if that makes sense.
What energy are y'all referring to?
Like,
yeah,
you know,
like what does that mean?
Before a relationship starts to sour, there's usually hints of communicating. Like how do I put it? You got two married people trying to work on things, doing the day to day, and they're starting to sense it's starting to get boring or draining. And I feel like people in their own way try to communicate that, is what I'm trying to say. And usually when they try to leave and do something else, because they're tired of repeating, trying to communicate things. They tired of putting in that effort, is what I was trying to articulate.
Well, yeah. So if I'm communicating something to you as my partner and I'm saying, yo, you keep doing this and it's affecting me, it's bothering me, that's me having a conversation with you, and you continue to do that whatever the behavior is, then I don't really want to deal with this, because you're not learning from whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So that is totally acceptable. But that's not marriage, right? Like, marriage is, you have an issue with your partner, you talk to your partner about it, they see that it's an issue because it's bothering your partner, and they are actively working on it. And it's not just one person working on it, it's both people working on the issues, right? Because we want this relationship to work, we put in the work to make it work. That's what I'm saying.
That is not as simple.
Don't stay in a relationship if you're not. It can be, and if you have the mentality that it's not as simple at times.
Well, I think that's the
you're
key
going to
part,
create
though,
that.
TJ.
Just like we said, you speak the words, you create your words speak things into existence. So if you're saying that, oh, even if I talk to you about it and it's not going to work, then maybe it's not for you.
Right.
Marriage should be a person that wants to hear that their partner's not happy, and they want to figure out solutions to make both partners happy in the relationship. That's what it is to me. But I'm not the guru of marriage. Marriage is
I like that perspective.
Two people. So it's between
Correct.
two people. So it's I have this thought process, you have this thought process, and we come together. Who cares about what everybody else has done in history? It's about me and you and how we compromise together.
I feel like that is lost on a lot of people, TJ. But that's very profound.
No, you said it.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right.
That was wrapped up. Yeah, you wrapped that up nice, TJ. Yeah. You did.
I have
like
another
finding
one
that
add,
kind
though.
of commitment in people is easier said than done. What you just said, TJ. That's what I was trying to articulate. It's hard to find that person with that kind of equal energy. Yeah, I mean, in some situations,
I rebuke it in the mighty name of Jesus.
I like to think that
I rebuke that in the mighty name of Jesus.
People change if you're lucky, right? We all change over time.
We do.
It's just important to find somebody that you could change with.
Correct.
And y'all grow together. You
yes,
know?
grow with.
And I think that is the cornerstone to a long-term successful marriage. If y'all growing together.
Correct, because some people outgrow each other.
Right.
But if you're growing together,
grow separate.
yes. But if you're growing together, it's going to build y'all. It's going to build the unity stronger because you guys are growing together, right?
Right. So
there's foundation in that in terms of that shared experience. Facts. That's what I was missing.
But I also think it's important, like Flash said, for us to be realistic about what that expectation looks like in the real world. Like, if you're not growing with somebody, you need to be able to acknowledge that and make the steps necessary to remove yourself from the situation so you can pair with someone that you can grow with. Because being in an uncomfortable situation is no good for anybody, for nobody. So I agree with both of y'all. Everybody, really, all say the same shit.
Yeah, either work through it or find a way to work around it, but you got to work on it.
That's it. Because at the end of the day, you still gonna be you. 100%. You stuck with you. You stuck with you,
and you should love being 100%. Stuck with you. That's the thing. Too. Yeah, I feel you. I like this.
And not only that, so I'm gonna just switch it over to another couple. So remember, I said there were two couples that stayed together, and they're both rocky. Well, this other couple completely broke up. This was Mirla and Gill, and everybody thought that they were going to do really well. Mirla's a social worker, and she does really well for herself. She's known for being like the princess and very particular about things, a little annoying. Ask Mo. Mo is like, I cannot stand her personality. She's just too much for me. Yeah, she's very particular, and she doesn't like certain things, and she could be a Debbie Downer, and he doesn't have that personality. Gil is a firefighter. He's a firefighter. He's a really attractive
black dude.
Man.
The black guy.
Really
he's Spanish. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
He's
Afro
Latino.
This is the
Latinx.
chick. She got money. She got money.
She's a social worker.
But
she's a social worker. Like
according
shoes
to the
and
reunion, according to the
TV.
reunion, when they talked about it, he ended up saying that he makes $100 more every 2 weeks than she does.
$100.
So the way that it was depicted on the series,
which is true.
So he broke it down just to show that he makes more money than her.
How was it depicted on the series before that? Was it depicted like she had so much more money than him?
It did.
Yeah, I'm explaining it. I'm explaining it right now. So on the show, it showed that she liked really extravagant things. She liked, the doorman building. She liked red bottom shoes. She liked, expensive purses and stuff like that. And she also did well for herself financially. She had a good job. It looks like she saved money. And then when you compared her to him, it looked like he wasn't making as much money as her. But I think what it comes down to is he just doesn't value clothes. He doesn't value his living situation like that. He doesn't need to live in a doorman building, but he also wasn't saving as much as she had been saving when they could compare those two things. But the story with them is they decided to stay married. And he says on the reunion, literally a week after they moved into a new apartment together, he says he sold everything. The only thing he came to that new apartment with was his dog, his clothes, and his blender. He said a week after he moved in, because he was moving into a space with her, and she's been particular, and I think he must have felt like, yo, I'm all in. This is my wife. And we're going to start all over. I don't need my furniture. We can get rid of that. You know what I'm saying?
He sacrifices shit just to kind of make her feel comfortable, not due to like financial concerns, just to kind of give her peace of mind.
Well, no, I just think it made sense, right? So like if you're moving in with someone and you have furniture and she has furniture, maybe you'll say, let's sell your furniture. We'll move it together. Yeah. And she's a very particular girl. So I could see him saying, I'll sell my stuff. We can buy whatever together.
Okay.
Or if you like your couch more than mine, let's bring your couch in. So long story short, he sold everything. All he came in was with his dog, his clothes, and his blender. A week later, after they moved into this apartment, she says, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm not attracted to you.
Sweet.
Not at all, my guy.
Hey man, that's the risk you take when you're in a relationship.
Wait. When they moved in together, her name, like it was her name on the lease.
Don't matter. At this point, he got no details.
Shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He actually offered to move. She said that she was going to move out, and he was like, "No, I'll move out."
The
relationship kind of dead. Yeah, I forgot about that. The relationship dead.
Yeah, he's heartbroken. It's been 2 months that they've been together. He's been.
I ain't got no
He's an amazing husband. Like
yeah.
like I said, she could be a Debbie Downer. Like she's the type that she'll go to an event and be like, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that," and then be screw face. And he has to like figure out how to make her happy so that he can enjoy his time too. Because imagine being with a partner that's like miserable everywhere you go.
Exactly.
And like you start to take that on, and you want your partner to be happy. So
you're not the one to me.
Crazy seeing how sweet he has been, and she just does not care.
Yeah, how miserable are y'all?
So how do you guys feel about that? He sold everything.
I think
I feel like he should be kind of compensated because like he lost money coming in, and now he literally has to restart fresh. That's an L. That's an L.
Yeah, I just feel unfortunate because my thing is before if she knew maybe she wasn't really attracted to him, they didn't even have to move in together. I mean, at that point.
You can't make no split-second decision on that. You fucking up a man's livelihood.
Right. I'm saying at that point, she didn't even need to move in. She didn't even need to move in with him. She could have just said that prior to the moving in, like, hey, I've it's been this journey. Yeah, we going through this journey, and I've tried, but I honestly feel like this. and then let him stay in his apartment with his dog and whatever else, and then you go your separate way and continue to stay in your apartment. But to make him knowingly, you knew he sold his things or whatever he did to
And
move into
still,
an apartment with you, and then a week later to tell him that's
grimy.
That's fucked up.
That's
grimy.
grimy.
Yeah.
That's grimy.
It
That's
was
grimy.
fucked up. Yeah, it was definitely fucked up. And they asked her multiple times, "Are you attracted to him?" Because she moved very, very slow. I want to say like a month in, she didn't even kiss him. And it was just like, what the fuck? But then I heard before a decision day, they ended up consummating the marriage. So they did have sex. But, every time they asked her, "Are you attracted to him?" She's like, "Yes, I'm very attracted to my husband. He makes me feel so good. He makes me feel like princess." And then out of nowhere, she's this cold ass bitch when you're talking to her in the reunion. She's just like, "Yeah, I'm not attracted to him. I don't like him." And I didn't know when else to say it. I said it at the time that I felt, and it just really was hurtful.
You can't.
Like my
That's
heart,
toxic.
and he started crying. He
That's
was crying. He
toxic,
was like,
though.
"I haven't cried this whole experience, and now I'm just like, I can't stop crying." He's like, "My heart is crushed." And he's like, "I dealt with rejection, but this is different. Like, because I went all in." And he's like, "It's starting to like affect me." So he's been going to therapy ever since. And supposedly there's a lot of bitches in the DMs. And I was thinking to myself, should I slide in his DM
there you go.
too?
Let him focus on himself.
He's a really good
It's not
guy.
your time, PJ.
I feel like that chick ain't shit though for even doing it like that. That's a grand. That's
It's not my
weird
time to
stage
slide in his DM.
Do it.
You got healing.
Don't listen to the hate, TJ. Go ahead.
He did acknowledge. He did say that there's a lot of girls sliding in his DMs, but there's one woman that slides in his DMs every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. And she's like, "Listen, I'm only a flight away." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good technique," because obviously, he's talking about her. So, but he's not ready, and it's going to take him some time. The last reunion episode they had, where they did like an update of where they are now, and he still had on his ring. He's so heartbroken, and the therapist
He might be
was like,
simping. I don't know. That's a little too much right now.
No, I mean, think about it, Boogie. If you take this process, if you go in to do Married at First Sight, you really want to be married. You want to find your life partner, and you're matched with this person that experts have put you together. They said that you were compatible, and you actually make it through the process. It's been 2 months. They made it through. They stayed together. Go ahead, Nash. What do you have to say?
TJ, if I do Married at First Sight and my wife play the shit out of me, and I'm getting the sympathy of all these women who watch this show, I'm gonna get married soon.
Yo, that's
exactly.
He's gonna get
Season
married
2 on the way.
real soon because he's getting all
Yeah,
types
I'm
of
hoping he
sympathy
doesn't.
love right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping he takes his time.
And he was a good. I mean, he really is a good dude. Like I just felt like seemed very happy. He was always happy to go out and do all these things and be with his wife, and even will kind of check and he would softly check her at times. Very soft. He was still soft with her, but he still checked her. Yes, softly would check her.
He did.
Like
and very honest.
You like the way he checked her?
Huh?
I did. I did like the way he checked her, because he would tell her, like, "Listen, sometimes your attitude, your Debbie Downing, like it affects me." And he was like, "All I need you to do is be more affectionate to me when that happens." And she was like, "Okay." And he really did say, like, "Why are you feeling like this? Like, how can I help you with this?" Like he brings it to her attention, and she can try to curtail it. Like, he really did check her I would not say he was a simp at all. He was a gentleman. She even said, like, he opened every door. He, made her feel like a woman, pulled out every chair, like did things to make her feel special. There was nothing simpish about this man.
I mean,
because he was very honest with her
anyway.
too.
I feel like,
yeah,
I don't know. I always feel like he's showing all that respect, and to be disrespected and dismissed and played like that, like just 2 months in, like, yeah, I don't even like it like that. Be out. I feel like this.
I wouldn't even say he's a simp. I just feel like watching this show, I didn't feel there was chemistry between them at all. Like, I felt like the chemistry between them was
at
real
all.
cool. And to hear her talk like that now, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't.
Right. I'm not shocked. Yeah. I was shocked when they stayed together, because I'm not shocked, because that's how I felt. I felt that's why I didn't like her. I felt she was very cold towards him. She was like, it's like,
but she started warming up. You didn't go through the entire
No, she did start.
No,
I did. No,
I
know she started warming up because I watched. I know she started warming up. They even did an exercise together one time, and they talked about it, and he talked about how they felt, and she did warm up. But I'm just saying, like, just her energy for me. It was her energy for me.
Yeah. You never liked her. I know. Every time. Nobody liked her.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was she?
I thought she just needed to move at her pace.
It's about a 6.
What'd she say, Matt? Boogie?
A 6
I
on
was
a
gonna
scale
say
of 1 to 10 with
7.
that kind of attitude?
I wouldn't
about
say
a
she's a 6. I would say she's about an 8 or
gotta
9.
see
She
her.
has a nice
An
body.
8 or 9?
She has a
What's her
horrible
name?
attitude.
Oh, you said how is you said
In
you talking about
looks.
judging her? Yeah, she's about a
Yeah.
7. Yeah,
In
she about a
looks.
7. She about a 7.
And look, she doesn't wear foundation. She has really clear skin. You know,
Yeah.
she cares about what she looks like. Like, her body is right. She makes good money. Like, the only bad thing I would say about her is her attitude, which is a huge red flag for me, you know, because I'm not into the pomp and circumstance of what you look like. It's really about the soul. So, like, yeah, she was she came off as a bitch, you know, and she's still coming off as a bitch. So let me just go ahead.
She's giving me regular
What you
Spanish
said,
girl
Mash?
vibes. She's just giving regular Spanish girl vibes. I don't feel like nothing about her was
Nah.
like particularly special.
Nah, she didn't give me Spanish. Nah, Spanish
She
women are
didn't.
known for being like very like supportive to
Catering.
their men and catering to their man, and that's not her at all. And she tried to play him as if it was a finance thing, and that's why he had to come out on a reunion and say, "I make $100 more every 2 weeks than she did." You know,
How does she?
and he came there looking sexy as hell. He had on like a Ferragamo belt and red bottom shoes and a sexy ass suit, and he has the beard game just like Flash. So I was like,
oh, he grew a
he's looking
beard.
really
He grew
sexy.
okay.
He grew a beard. He's looking sexy as hell in these streets, and his DM is filled. Just make some room for me, Gil. Anyway, I just wanted to mention something else, that this is the first season that there's talk of different castmates swapping with each other. So there's talk that that girl that we were just talking about, this bitch character, Mirla, is talking to one of the Asian characters that he was just like trash the entire episode. So I just find it's crazy that they're saying that they're talking. Yes, the one that was with Johnny.
Bow.
So there's talk that he's like talking to her, but I don't think he's her type. I don't think he could handle her. But it is true that Zach, which is the black character that was dealing with Michaela, which was like the raging bull, the one that would just flip out over everything. I think we talked about her where she like damaged the house or whatever. When they went on that like resort ski or the little.
I remember her. She got nuts and got a little frustrated. Okay.
Yes, she did. So the
At
guy
dinner,
that was with her, well, it was just in the house with the guy. But yeah, so that guy that was with her, his name is Zach, is now trying to court the girl that was with the Asian guy, Bao. So I want to see how that pans out. Like, you know, when you do a swap of the partners, you know, like how would that dating situation look? And how awkward that is, because you just know that this person was just married to someone else, you know, but yeah.
Is this going on in season, or this going to be a new season? Like, hey, like we just swapped with these, like how's that flowing, if you don't mind me asking? If that,
I don't know. I think, you know, we're going to be following them on their social media to see if they stay together, because the season is done and the next season is going to be in Boston. So
I ain't gonna lie, like that's not really my type of thing. But when you said that the character, like the other married character was like, nah, I ain't gonna deal with my wife. I'm gonna deal with this other married character. I was like, oh, they doing that on this show. Okay, that's a little mixy. Yeah. I like it though.
This is the first season that it's been mixy
like
as
fuck.
So. Yeah.
But
that's all I have for you guys.
Okay, so we rounding this out. Go ahead, Boogie.
All right, so I guess we're gonna close out the episode then for our current events for December. We thank you so much for tuning in and just overall staying for the content. Please feel free to like and follow us on Instagram. We are posting on an everyday basis, and be sure to follow us every week on YouTube, as well as a new episode on every Wednesday. TJ, anything else you want to add?
Yes, you gotta do our
so if you're following us on IG, you're going to follow us at SoRatchet Podcast. If you're following us on Twitter, we tweet from time to time. It's SoRatchet Pod. And yes, as Boogie said, we are now live on YouTube. So if you want to see our face and match it up with our voice, catch us on Sophisticatedly Ratchet on YouTube. And we're actually going to be on TikTok now too. So we're kind of getting in with the younger generation, okay? Bear with us. Our TikTok is coming soon. And that's going to be at Sophisticatedly Ratchet as well.
Yeah, quick.
And I think we did the go ahead.
Quick shout out to my nigga Kitty. I mean, y'all
Go ahead,
niggas can't
Kitty.
see my nigga Kitty on the gram.
I see.
Hi, Kitty.
I'm
Kitty's
allergic.
cool.
I don't know. That's why I'm
Boogie,
getting so
you did the
stuffy, 'cause
points, Boogie. I
he's
think we
there.
all got a tie. And
Kitty's mad pretentious, but she mad nice.
Definitely tied on the points. Let me get that for y'all.
And then we can edit it
Oh,
out.
Mash
Actually,
tried to put in pretentious at the end, so he gets
Nah,
a point for that.
nah,
fuck
don't
that.
even give it to me.
Definitely try to sneak it.
Don't even give it to me.
I
Don't
think
even
everybody
you
got
giving up your
well.
points? I'll take Mash's
I ain't want
point.
it.
I'll take Mash's
No,
point.
you had 1 point. I think I had 1 point, and I think Boogie had a point, if I remember. And Shape.
I didn't say
think.
it at all. So
Oh, you
I'll
didn't say
take
that at all?
Mash's.
Oh, I said.
Nah, I don't remember saying this.
You
It
can
seems
have
like
it.
we're
I'ma
all
give TJ a
tied
point.
then.
Oh, they didn't
Don't
even
not
count
give him
my.
flack.
They didn't even count my point.
You had one more?
Yes.
Well, we're all tied
Wow.
though.
You see how they be doing me?
Wow.
I'm telling you. Anytime it comes to.
I definitely heard you plug it in there for sure.
Thank you.
For sure,
Thank you,
for
Mash.
sure. I
Thank
got
you. I'm just saying.
So what
Yeah.
y'all had like
My
a
bad.
4-way tie or some shit?
No, it's a tie.
Definitely a
Everybody said it one
four-way.
time. That's how
Everybody
we
need to
got
have,
it.
like-
Everybody wins.
Everybody
We
wins.
need to have word
Trash.
points going over.
Everybody wins.
None of y'all went hard.
Fucking
right.
If anybody, anyway, appreciate
love
y'all
y'all.
tuning in, y'all. And we are going to close it out and see y'all on the next episode.
Facts.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.